What is going on, guys? We are back on MTGO for a new Eldritch Moon draft with a pretty interesting choice here, Dark Salvation and Savage Alliance. I love Savage Alliance. I still think that Salvation is better. It's quite close though, and black is weaker than red in general. So yeah, it's not easy. Then I guess you have Prowler, which is decent but not really as good as these two. I'm gonna go with Salvation, but it's really close. Savage Alliance is great. But Salvation can really win you game on its own. I guess Savage Alliance too, but yeah, both cards are fantastic, honestly. Okay, best card here is probably Choking Restraints, followed by the Scavengers and the Scab. I think Scab is slightly better than Scavenger, but since I'm already in black, I'd rather pick Scavengers over that. I guess this is a zombie, which is nice for Salvation, but I still think staying in black is more valuable. So yeah, it's between Scavenger and Restraint. I'm not a huge fan of white-black, and Scavengers is just a very solid pick, so I'm probably just gonna go with that. Yeah, I think the power level of order is Restraints, then Scab, and Scavenger. And Scab and Scavenger being closer than Scab and Restraints, but staying black is good. Yeah, again, I don't really want to go white-black, and yeah, Scavenger is just fine. Fine card to pick here. I'm probably gonna pick Ulvenwald Captive here. Yeah, none of the black cards are very good. Like Rest from the Grave has not been very good for me. It's fine, but not great. Supplicant is pretty bad unless you are a specifically black-red vampire, which I don't really intend to play yet. And Captive is just the best card of the pack, very solid 2-drop, goes well with 5-drop and X spells because of the mana it gives you. So yeah, we'll pick that. Pretty weak pack. There's a Graph Rats, which is a bad card but becomes decent once you have 1 or 2 Scavengers. There's not much else. I mean, Spinner is bad. Recruitment, well, I could get some zombies, but I don't have any zombie yet. Best card might just be Fortune's Favor, but I don't think I should move into blue for that. And Graph Rats is not great, but fine once you have a Scavenger, so yeah, we'll pick that. Okay, interesting. So we have 2 medium black zombies and 1 good blue zombie. So now... And I think Scab is a decent amount better than these two, but it's kind of the same power level than Captive, so... You know, if I pick that and then I don't play the Captive, it's kind of the same thing. So it's close. I think I like Foul Bloods more than Unallowed, but between these two, I think I'm still gonna pick Foul Bloods. Staying in black is good, and I don't lose that match. And I have a creature of the same power level in another color than blue, so I think it's fine. But I guess you could pick the Scab. It's a very solid card. Certain Death and Prey Upon, two interesting possibilities. I think I'm gonna go with Certain Death. I think it's slightly weaker, but staying mono black for now is really nice, and it's not that much weaker than Prey Upon. Sometimes it's just better. Yeah, Slayer is probably the best card here, but again, I think staying black, picking some decent cards, is fine. I don't like Weirded Vampire at all, unless even in the black-red Vampire deck, it's not that good. Yeah, Enlightened Maniac is a fine blue card. I'm probably gonna just pick that. Very late Dryad. 8-speak Dryad. Probably a good sign that we should be green and we should try to get Delirium. I mean, you don't have to have Delirium to make that card good, but that seems like an easy pick to me. Okay, Patrol is a fine 3-drop, nothing too great, but it's decent. Bloodbriar is not looking great right now, but could become better, and there's nothing else, so yeah. Okay, well, Primal Druid, I don't have any emerge yet, and Terrarion is actually good with Bloodbriar and could help me splash and could help me getting Delirium, so it's looking decent. Well, I got one zombie. I still don't think I want to play Recruitment right now, but Recruitment I think is very good in blue-black because you have enough zombies where it's really gonna be a draw 2 almost all the time. And it's slightly better than a draw 2 because one of the card is the best card in your graveyard. Or I guess the best zombie card if you get a zombie. And that's just gonna be better than a divination most of the time while costing 1 less mana. But if I don't have 5 or 6 zombies, I'm not a huge fan. Spinner is decent for the sideboard, I don't really want to main deck that though. Interesting. So none of the black or green cards are things that I want to first pick. There's a Lancers, which just as a 4/4 first strike body I think is very good. And white seem kinda open, so maybe we'll get some white here. I think I'm gonna pick that and see if we can make it work because I don't know. I guess the other option would be to pick Bombardment and splash it off the Terrarion, which is fine. And Lancers are not that good. But really the black and I guess Unallowed are fine, but they are probably wheeling. And it's just quite a bad card. I think Bombardment is a decent card to splash, and I might be wheeling the Terrarion. I don't know, it's close. I have enough good green cards that I think I want to stay in green. And this is not really splashable and not a very good card to splash where Bombardment is fine. Alright. There's a Shrill Howler, which is fine. I think I'm gonna go with Bombardment though. It's a better card and I already have incentive to splash for red. So yeah, we'll just play 2 Bombardment probably. Maybe a Spreading Flames. I think I'd rather pick Dragoon or Grapple though. Dragoon is I think a fine card, even if you are not Madness, just because of, you know, the ability is sometimes relevant and getting Delirium can be good. Grapple is really better though at getting Delirium. It's good with Foul Bloods, it's nice at filling the graveyard for Scavengers. It can help you fix sometime. Yeah, I think we'll pick Grapple. Unfortunately, that pack has nothing for us. I really don't want to play any of these black or green cards. I guess I'm gonna cut the Geist because it's the more threatening card, but I don't love 8 drafting, but like there was literally nothing I could see myself playing. Okay, Foul Bloods are fine, especially if I get some more, you know, ways to get Delirium, I guess. There's Rise from the Grave, I guess, which is decent and works kind of well with Grapple too. I think Foul Blood is just better. I haven't been very impressed with Rise from the Grave so far. Well, this is a decent card to splash for, though if you cannot flip it, and flipping is double red, it's much worse. So we should probably pick Terrarion to help the fixing, help the Delirium, and be a fine card. Okay, I'm liking 4-drop, this is a fine 4-drop. Sure. Nothing I want to play or nothing I care too much about here. I guess Spectral Reserve is kinda annoying, potentially. I don't have any... I guess I can side in the Spinner, but small flyers could be annoying for my deck. This seems very unplayable, but I don't know. It's not the worst. The worst. It's a very funny... I mean, you know, it's very well designed, but it's just a bit too much mana. I think they could have made it cost 2 and sacrificed it for 4, and that would be a decent card for limited and not even playable in constructed, but 3 and 5 is just too much. That being said, I actually haven't seen anyone play that yet, so maybe it's better than it looks like. Ah, that just doesn't seem very good though. I guess a spirit token with Bloodbriar ability is decent. Or funny. Not great though. Alright, what are you doing, guys? Why cannot I get any card? Interesting. And Allowed is a fine 4-drop. I kinda wanna pick the Terrarion though and make the splash really safe. Yeah. Yeah, just bad cards. Same thing here. Kind of funny to have all those Terrarion, but actually they make the Bloodbriar much better, which is also sweet, I guess. And with 3 Terrarions, I can almost afford to splash a 4th color if I get a nice one white mana card like Bound by Moonsilver, or a nice 1 blue mana card. I could splash those. And yeah, again, it's nice for the Bloodbriar. I guess I would be happy to have more Bloodbriars now, but I don't really think I had any option to pick another one at some point anyways. Alright, fairly mediocre pack. We have a nice 4-drop in Solitary Hunter though. Cathar is probably better than it would be otherwise because I have 3 Terrarions, so it can threaten to give double strike to itself, or Scavenger, or Patrol. It's still quite weak though. Crows are looking fine in my deck because I kinda like Delirium, but Hunter is just better. Yeah. Not very close. I'd be happy to wield the crows though. Ooh, Soul Swallower. I have a Grapple, 3 Terrarion, 2 instant. I don't have many sorceries. I guess I have 2 sorceries, but I think getting Delirium with that deck is not gonna be hard. And even though I'd be very happy to add Rancid Rats to my deck, this is just stronger. If I could wield the rats, I'd be super happy. I don't think it's very likely though, because someone might take these. Maybe that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who knows? It's the only black card though, so I don't think it's gonna wheel. But you never know, I guess. Mark of Dread Knight, a sweet one. It's just a very good card in general, just as a 3/3 flyer that you can use your useless land to boost. You don't have to have madness to make that good. I think if it was not in the pack, I would actually pick Nearest Chaplain over one of these two, because it's actually very splashable off the Terrarion. Though I guess it's kind of clunky, because if you cannot choose the ability once it dies, it's much weaker. Yeah. So I would probably not have picked that. But it's something I could see myself splashing. Of non-Terrarion fixers. Because Terrarion only fix once, which is kind of bad with that. If I could wheel any of these 2-drops, I'd be super happy. Even the Tornado Wolf be decent, I think. But one of the 2-drops would be great. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Removal, so Compulsion looks nice. It obviously works very well with the Dread Knight. But yeah, I kind of want that. Partisan, I think it's fine even if you don't have a lot of Werewolf, because it's kind of an annoying card to play against. And I have 3 Werewolves, so it would be fine, I guess. But this is just strictly better. Nothing I want to play with here. Pale Rider I don't think is good. Crawling Sensation I don't think is good. Yeah, there's just nothing. So I'm gonna pick that. That card is fairly decent and sometimes annoying. Ooh, I want 4 Budding Runes to help the splash. I don't really need that more help, but it's good. And I have enough playables that I don't need to pick the Swine. 2 packs ago we saw Moldgraf Scavenger, which I think might wheel, and Scavenger is actually very good in my deck, so hopefully this will wheel. We got a Crow. I don't think it's the Crow I did not see any Sleep Paralysis, so that's another Crow. And we might wheel the other one. I guess we'll see. probably gonna pick Clipwings for my side. I'm trying to get Delirium, but I don't need the Weaker Witch. Like, I have 3 Terrarions, that card is just bad, and I can get Delirium relatively easily without that, so... Oh, what a shame we did not wheel the Graph Rat. I mean, the Rancid Rats, but I kinda expected that. Swine is looking fine in my deck, though. Ooh, we got another Rancid Rat, sweet. So I have 24 playables, I need to cut one thing here, and I really don't know what it should be. I like the curve, I like everything. Even the 3 Terrarion are good because of the Bombardment and the Bloodbriar, so yeah, there's nothing I want to cut, really. And Scavenger I think is better than some of my 2-drop. Actually, I think that card is really solid here, because getting Delirium with that deck is really gonna be a piece of cake. Or at least I hope it will be a piece of cake. But I think, yeah, I think it's really... My deck is really good at getting Delirium. But even if this is often a 3-4, most of my other 2-drops are better. I guess Graph Rats are really bad. I hate Graph Rats. Sure, it's good if I randomly have the Scavenger. I'm gonna cut that. Don't be mad at me. If I had 2 Scavenger, I would play them, but that card is just disgustingly bad. Like, you really don't want to play 2-1 for 2 in this set. And this will be relevant quite rare, not that often, where this is often gonna be a 3-4 for 2, which is good. So now I wonder if, given the captive and the fact that we are cantripping a lot, we can afford to play 16 land. My curve is not super high because there's really nothing I want to cut. I guess I could cut a patrol. I don't really want to do that though. And my deck doesn't have some card advantage in the late game, so I don't really want to flood out. I guess I can use extra mana with these 2. And I have 2 6-drops, so maybe, yeah, maybe playing 16 land might be a bit greedy. Not sure what I want to cut though. The more cantrips you have in deck, the more likely you are to flood. At least this is how I feel. I cannot explain it mathematically right now, but I think it's true. But maybe I'm just saying crap. But sometimes I've played decks with a lot of cantrips and a lot of card draw, and in limited at least you tend to flood if you have too many of these. At least in my experience. But just right now, right off the bat, I can't really give you a valid mathematical explanation to that effect that I might just be feeling, but that might not exist. But this was to say that I'm not super happy about playing 17. I think I'm gonna be greedy and go with 16 lands. No, so definitely not 2 mountains. Probably that. It's gonna be an 8/8 mana base plus a red, and I have pretty much the same amount of black and green, I think. Yeah, the exact same amount. I guess I have, no, 1 more green and 2 double green. So maybe I need more green than black. Maybe, I mean, with 3 Terrarion, I should not really have many mana issues. Though I guess I need to keep my Terrarion for the blast. I think this is fine. Also, this deck has some cheap removal, which means I can, you know, kills. I mean, my curve is low enough. I mean, I have enough 1 and 2 drops and 3 drops that I can wait a little bit before I hit my next land drops, and it's not gonna be that bad. So I think it's another reason to play 16 lands. I might want to play 1 more swamp over 1 forest though, just because. I mean, the opposite, 1 forest over 1 swamp, because I kind of want to play those on turn 4 reliably, and I don't need double black except for the Dread Knight. Yeah, it's close. It's really close. So here I have 8/8 and I can go 9/7. No, I'll go with 8/8. Alright, so that's the deck. Black-green mid-range with a little bit of red. Seems decent. We'll see how it performs. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft. Feel free to drop a like if you did, and see you for round uno.